if we look now, we change a little to the way of the future of mobile development. And if we look a little back the last 45 minutes, it's amazing how the numbers are up, what are the experts say, where we go in the next 1, 2, 3 years, and everything is data. Very interesting point is how to handle the big data at the end, and what you have to be aware of development. So I'm really happy to have him here. Welcome, Goodarz Mahbobi from Axxessio.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. First of all, I want to say thank you to Frank Ostner and Bernhard Hochstetter for this great event. Thank you for the invitation and organization. It's a pleasure. I want to talk to you a little bit about the future of mobile development and big data. And then after that, I'm going to go through the observations about how the companies and organizations going to change and the job opportunities going to be in the near future. First of all, let's us have a look on the back. The technological and industrial revolution is in full swing from my point of view in Avenue. When we have a look back in the 70s, 50s, we could see that the first revolution of industry came with as we have got the machines in the fabrics, and the machines replaced the workers. In the 90s, 1990s, 1950s, we have seen the first computer science performances, and it was the base of the revolution of internet in 1980, 1990, as we have seen how internet changed all the life from us. I have the same feeling as in the 90s, and I think that we are in an industry revolution right now. We call it Industry 4.0. It's based on analysis, digital automatization, and anticipatory. So this revolution is, from my point of view, is based on 4 components. These 4 components are mobile. We have heard a lot about the mobiles right now. They are cloud computing. I mean, it's going to be another speaker today about cloud computing, collaboration, and big data. Before we come to these components, let me talk to you a little bit about the data in general. Data is produced everywhere. We have seen in the other speech that there are a lot of devices. You're going to hear a lot of numbers again from my side, but we are producing data everywhere. According to IBM, we are producing 2.5 to 3 exabytes a day. What is exabyte? Exabyte is a 1 with 18 zeros. It's actually amazing, and it's a huge number. As we're going to see in our timeline here, as the humans started to making data, to writing the ideas, the humans started to draw on the caves. After that, we found the stones. And we came to scrolls, and then we made books. And in digital time, we came to floppies, CDs, DVDs, USB, and all the stuff what we are knowing from our side. From the beginning of the human history until 2010 to 11, we produced 10% of the data that is existing right now. In the past 2 years, we produced 90% of the data that's in the world right now. And the most important thing about it, with this speed, we are doubling it every 3 years. So it means we are swimming in data. Swimming in data, it's not only about the volume of the data, but it's about the velocity of the data and about the variety of data. I talk always about the 3 V's: volume, velocity, and variety. They are really huge challenges for us in the near future. So let's come back to the revolutions, what I talked about the industry revolution. From my point of view, it's based on mobile, cloud, collaboration, and big data. Let's have a look a little bit about data. From Stern magazine, which is producing here in Germany, there are more IP devices than people on the world, in the planet. More IP devices than people. Mobile is changing the way of the communication. I mean, how we are communicating together is totally different than past 5 or 4 years. That's the way how we are visiting a museum in these days. And that's the way how we are get-together in the evening. When we are going for a beer, that's the picture what we are seeing in the restaurants. 1 billion smartphones in the end of 2013. I mean, we heard 1.2. I agree with you. Doesn't matter. But it's from Gartner. I mean, it's going to be very fast. And the second component of the revolution, industry revolution, is cloud computing. According to Forrester, 67% of the adult internet users in US, they are using personal cloud services. I know in Germany and in Europe we are a little bit busy with our privacy and all this stuff, but I'm sure that we're going to handle it here as well. And the personal computer will replace PC, sooner or later. How the mobile and cloud are working together, I mean, we have seen a lot of great game apps. I mean, it was nice to have them. It was very beautiful to develop these things, but I think the complexity getting more and more, and the business processes going to be developed on this mobile devices. The transformation of cultural institution is a great example for working mobile and cloud together. I mean, the cultural instructions in the New York Museum of Art, when you go there, you are getting an app, a wireless line for free, and when you're downloading this, you are getting all your information about the exhibits, all of them. The Städel Museum in Frankfurt with 110,000 exhibits, and Hessische Landes- und Universitätsbibliothek are doing the same. I mean, the walkthrough for this museums is amazing because you have the virtual walkthroughs, and you have all the information what you need from all the exhibits. The conditions of preparing something like this is the rapid adaptability of heterogeneous terminals and IT system environments, a flexible information retrieval, and the mobile operation and based on cloud infrastructure. They are the conditions of this. The second example is car2. I mean, I didn't know that in the previous speech we're going to hear such interesting things. But the car 2.0 is one of the another examples and challenges that we are facing too. I mean, the car manufacturers, they are facing huge challenges right now. The traditional requirements, big engine, comfortability, and all this stuff is going to stay, but there are new requirements. How can I deal with my apps? How does it work with the car communication? How can be used the synchronization between my navigation systems and my apps and all this stuff? They are big and huge challenges. The third component of the industrial revolution is collaboration. And the collaboration and social, let me bring you an example for these two components. I mean, when you are applying for a job, you are writing your CV and you are sending your CV to an HR manager. When you are lucky, you are getting an appointment. So before this appointment, the HR manager knows a lot of things more than you wrote it in your CV. Why? He is seeing on Facebook, he knows already what you ate probably last night. He knows all your friends. He knows what kind of hobbies do you have, which car are you driving, and everything like this. He's going to LinkedIn, And he knows everything about your professionals, your education, your alumni networking, your friends from the school. And he's going to Twitter and knows everything about what you are thinking about different things, about this mobile solution days, for example. Now you are coming to the HR manager and talking about your CV. The word changed. Transformation of collaboration, use of networks, buying, selling, and learning behavior, and knowledge sharing, they are all the issues that bring us to new IT approach, people, processes, and collaboration. The fourth components of the Industrial Revolution 4.0, from my point of view, is big data. What is big data? Big data is tools and algorithms that we are using for making advantages and usageable from data that we cannot use until now. I'm always talking about datafication, and I'm subdividing data in three parts. One of them is the clouding data. That's the data that we have in our social medias and everything in the cloud. Data warehousing data, they are data for our businesses, which are in our huge data warehouse systems. We are producing reports from this data, and they are really, really expensive, teuer. I call it trash data. The third part is the trash data. Trash data is the data that we have it, but we are not using it. It's unbelievable to imagine it that a lot of hospitals, they are deleting the data, the films from the patient after 2 weeks to save place. Let me bring you an example of what kind of opportunities do we have with big data. LAPD, Los Angeles Police Department, and UCLA, they are working on a great project. Before the program came out, the LAPD was storing all the data from the last 80 years. They were archiving the data, and they knew what happened when, through when. So now they are using an algorithm that make it possible to find or to make the observation what's the next crime going to happen. I mean, it's a little bit like Minority Report. I mean, I am sure you are familiar with this, but it's really true. I mean, the same officer is going to the same office. There's the same sergeant, he's giving him the same paper, but the information on this paper is something else. The information is not that what the sergeant was thinking where could be the route. The information is coming from an algorithm, and it's written, they call it hotspots, crime hotspots. This algorithm is calculating and analyzing and making the suggestions where the crime can happen. The same officer, they are going to these crime hotspots and find unregistered cards, stolen cards, unregistered and hidden weapons, and so on. And they are saying there are more than 12% reduction of the crime since they are using with this program. The second example is life insurance. I mean, a huge effort for insurance companies is to calculating the risks and giving the best offers to their customer for life insurance. With the collaboration and big data and using right algorithm, we could reduce the risk and making better offer. So we talked about where we are coming from, what kind of revolution we have behind us, where are we standing, and what's the big data. Now let's talk about it, what's the consequences of the revolution. The consequences is a company, Agfa. I mean, I'm sure some of you knows that. It doesn't exist anymore, not in this way. Why? Because they didn't get the sign of the history and the sign of the future and the sign of digital cameras. Agfa was thinking digital camera never gonna be popular. They thought cameras and films going to stay in this way what it was before. I think agile organization will take the lead, and the shortage, the second consequence is the shortage of deep analytical skills in our business. When we trust McKinsey, they say 140,000 to 190,000 people with deep analytical skills going to be the shortage until 2018. The future of organizations going to be, when we have a look on the traditional organizations, the traditional organization has IT systems based on application silos. The traditional organizations have business and administrative process with media disruption, and they have hierarchy, internal and external communication, and limited information. This thing is very small. The future of the organization, I'm not pushing anything. Digital organization is, in the future, is capable of IT systems and based on cloud, mobile, big data, and collaboration, end-to-end processes. Claudia, are you doing this? And the social interaction with employees, customers, and partners. And they are organizations with 360-degree view of information. The future of companies will be the mobility, big data, new organization structure. And if there are companies out there that they are not getting the sign, 50 to 60% of them not going to exist in the next 4 or 5 years. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Goodarz. I have to apologize this inconvenience, so I hope it was okay. So
it's good for condition.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.